All right, let's go ahead and get this thing started. Welcome to tonight's Vimma Elite Networking webinar. I am excited to be able to share my story and our company with you guys, whether you're already involved with our company or new on the call. Understand if you are new on the call, your friend brought you on here for a reason. They wanted to share something really, really important to them with you, something that's changed a lot of our lives. And that's why I'm so fired up to be able to share this with you guys tonight. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jesse Burke. I actually am I went to high school and I'm from a small town in Northern California by the name of Redding. I went and got my 2-year degree from community college, and then I transferred down to San Luis Obispo, California, to finish out my degree. And San Luis Obispo is a town in Central California. It's like a small college beach party town. Primarily the reason I actually went there. The college is great, sure, but I went for the environment. I had a friend down there who was having a lot of fun. He'd been there for about a year. I kept seeing all the pictures and fun things like that. So I transferred down there to have a good time, that college experience. Well, I did that for a good solid year. I did have a fantastic time. The beach, the parties, the girls, right? Unfortunately, a lot of it's documented, right, on smartphones and stuff like that. But my second half, my time in St. Louis, my circumstances changed a little bit, right? I wasn't having as much fun as I had in the beginning. And here's what happened to me, you guys. My dad, he works a very, very physical job. He's what's called a horse farrier. It's the cross between a horseshoer and a veterinarian, right? And while I was financially independent, while I was in college, I was taking out student loans and I was working to pay for tuition and things like that, and food and rent and all that fun stuff. My dad, actually, while I was in school, he blew out his back 100%. Right, and now he was self-employed, and you know what happens when you injure yourself, while working when you're self-employed. That's the income, right? So that was my family's income, and I realized that I wanted to do something about it, right? I'm 22 years old. I'm able-bodied, right? I want to do something to help this situation, you guys. So I was doing, about 12 unit quarters in college, which is just a ton of school. That's like a 24 unit semester, right? But that was by choice. School had always kind of been my thing. I liked powering through it, right? But on top of that, I was doing over 40 hours a week at work, which was not, the best schedule to have. That on top of that kind of schedule led to literally no free time for me at all. And it led to a situation of living for me that was not something I was enjoying. Right, it was a real low point for me in life. I mean, I was underweight. I had about a quarter tank of gas to get to or from work. Guys, I was living off the top ramen and Bisquick diet. Not because I was spending my money on typical college things like plastic handles and all that junk, right? Because I just legitimately, didn't have it, and I was looking for something different. So, well, I was in a real low point, and I'm not saying that's where you got to be to understand what we got going on here. This may resonate with some of you guys. If you've heard the Albert Einstein, the Hollywood definition of insanity, right, is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting something different to happen. It's like that was me with my life. And I knew that I needed something to come in and change, right? If I was broke the night before when I went to bed, right, and I woke up the next morning and I did the same exact thing that I did yesterday, of course I'm going to bed broke again, right? And that's not rocket science. So I knew I needed some factor in my life to change. Did I think it would be this? Did I think it would be this wonderful company, Vimma, that you're about to hear about tonight? No. Absolutely not. This was a curveball for me, right? But in this time when I was realizing that I need to change, here comes one of my best friends. His name is John Millsap. I trust this guy with my life. He would never put me in a position to get hurt. He's literally one of my best friends in the entire world. But one of these days, he just showed up with this orange can that said Verve on it, and he comes up and he's foaming at the mouth, excited, and this is not like him, right? He comes up and he was just super pumped, and he couldn't really explain what was going on. He's just like, dude, we're gonna drink these, and we're gonna drive BMWs, and we're gonna make millions of dollars in mansions and blah blah. I was just like, bro, you work at a restaurant. What are you talking about, right? And I kept asking questions and questions and questions, and he was really excited, but he couldn't explain anything to me. And so I immediately pawned it off, right? I didn't have an open mind. And I'll be completely honest, where my friend was green, he didn't exactly know how to explain the company or anything like that. He was just really excited, hoping that I would trust him as a friend. I had a really big ego. I thought I knew everything about everything. I thought I knew what I was doing. I thought I was on a good track, right? I was doing the right thing to go make a lot of money. I thought I knew how everything worked. And so one of my really good friends comes up to me with something that he says will change my life. I didn't even pay him the time of day. Right, and so I encourage you on this call right now, because understand that same can that he showed me, right, about a year ago now, did actually change my life when I decided to listen. So I encourage you guys tonight to keep an open mind, and hopefully I can explain this to you guys in a way that will make sense, right? And in my story, you guys, I watched a mutual friend make this happen. Now there was a guy named Cody Gregorick, who I'd met when I first moved to St. Louis. We weren't the best of friends or anything like that, but we were acquaintances, right? I'd met him at a party, knew of him sort of thing, right? 8 months had passed since I had last seen him, and during this week that my buddy John was talking to me about the company that you guys are going to hear about tonight, right? When I was calling, that doesn't work that way, blah blah. I have adult things to do. I have to go back to my grocery store, right? During this week that my buddy John was talking about it, Cody showed up at my apartment complex in a 2013 BMW, paid for by the company Vimma, and totally changed things for me. You know, one, because I don't actually come from a lot of money. I'd actually never seen a hardtop convertible before. You know, anyone on the call is not familiar with what that is, man. Like the top of the car gets swallowed by the trunk, and the trunk like spits it back out. The thing's a transformer, right? And I was just sitting there looking at him like, man, the last time I saw you, you were working in a shoe store. Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. You just partied a lot. You played a lot of Madden, right, on the Xbox, and then now you just show up in a Beamer. That doesn't make any sense to me. And I'll never forget the words that he said. He said, I took a position with Vimma. You know, a slap to the face for me because I was telling my best friend it didn't work. A slap to the face to me because I was like, dang, man, that guy's younger than me. He drives a cooler car than me. He's got no boss, no hours, and he's making more money than me, right? And I just, rather than get frustrated at anything going on, seeing that made me open my mind for a second and listen. And I got introduced to somebody making money by the name of Brian Caligari, and yeah, from that day forward, I decided to take this thing incredibly seriously. And so for anybody who's new on the call tonight, what I really want you guys to understand, maybe what I didn't understand in the beginning, right, is that this is big business. Okay, I'm not here to talk to anybody about the hype. I'm here to find the individuals who see this profession for what it is, who believe in themselves, who have a little bit of a bigger ambition than their peers, right, and who want to make this happen. Okay, because it was a lot bigger than I'd understood, right? You guys got to understand, for anyone who's not familiar with our industry is called network marketing, and it's been around for a very, very long time. Right, and if you research our industry, you'll find it's not too uncommon to hear about adults turning, you know, 5-figure part-time incomes, you know, 6-figure full-time incomes, and guys, even 7-figure, you know, $1 million incomes through this industry. Okay, and that's been a regular thing over the past, you know, 30, 40, 50 plus years, right? What you have to take away with what you're about to hear tonight is that it's the first time it's ever been done with a young demographic. Right? Network marketing is very simple, you guys. It's word of mouth advertising. If I go see a cool movie, the first thing I do when I leave that theater is tell my friends how cool of a movie it was, right? My friends then go to the box office, pay the box office, buy a ticket. The box office makes a sale off of what I said. Yeah, I don't receive any compensation for that, right? I created that sale with my recommendation. Yeah, I don't see any of that coming back to me, right? That's all absorbed by the box office. Okay, the best way that I can describe this to you guys is every company has to build supply and demand, right? My high school econ teacher always did this when he said supply and demand, so I always think of this, supply and demand, right? A company builds supply first, whether that's a supply of notebooks, whether it's a supply of patio furniture, you know, televisions, anything, right? They build up a supply. The next step is to create that demand. And where a typical company would go to create demand is through traditional forms of advertising. You guys, it's you know, billboards, it's commercials, it's Pandora ads, right? YouTube ads, right? Stuff like that. And if you think about it, if a commercial for every 1,000 people that saw that company's product or service, let's say 30 of them purchased. All right? And so companies in the past have paid large amounts of money to put on commercials, let's say like during the Super Bowl. Right, because there are a ton of viewers. They're broadcasting their product or service to thousands upon thousands of people, right? And every 1,000, 30 buy, right? They were getting a huge return on that. The reason that's becoming obsolete, and the reason our industry is projected to become one of the largest industries in advertising, you guys, is because I can post a Facebook status, and in 24 hours, 1,000 people can see it for free. Right? We're the most socially connected generation in history. And this is the first time we've done social network marketing. You got to think about that for a second. So, you guys, the company that we're all a part of is called Vimma. Vimma is actually an acronym. It stands for vitamins, essential minerals, mangosteen, and aloe. Okay, and the company started about 10 years ago. 10 years ago, we created a 2-ounce liquid nutrition supplement. You guys, it's a full spectrum vitamin. There's nothing synthetic in it. It's all plant source based minerals, right? Your body absorbs a liquid a lot better than a solid, right? And you know, it started to grow amongst the older generation, right? It was a better multivitamin than what the older generation was taking. You guys, our product also includes aloe vera. It's good for your, you know, your skin and your digestion system. It includes the mangosteen superfruit, right? And this is incredibly high in antioxidant content, which is incredibly healthy for your body, right? And the older generation started to market our product like normal, right? The older generation up to this point controlled this industry. And it made a lot of sense. You guys might know parents or grandparents who take like the 12 stacks of vitamins, the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? Popping handfuls, right? This replaced all of that, right? And so it was really simple. It's like, hey, stop taking your Centrums and your mints one a day. Drink liquid Vimma instead, right? Tell your friends about it, right? And it started to grow. And yeah, for the first 5 years, that really sustained the company, you guys. But like I said, Vimma being in year 10, about 5 years ago, Vimma made a move in a direction that completely changed the industry and the company, you guys. They realized, look, we spend our entire advertising budget on networking, right? We spend our entire advertising budget on paying people to network our products. We should probably get our product into the hands of people who network the best. You guys, and they saw our generation, and they saw what we did with things like Facebook. You got to look at Facebook, right? There was never a penny spent on advertising for Facebook. You never saw a commercial. You never saw anything like that. It started with Zuckerberg and a couple buddies in a dorm room talking about a concept, right? It was originally to check out chicks, but they changed that concept, right? And they set out to create the best social media platform for our generation. Right? So what did we do naturally? They went out and created Facebook. So we tell all our friends, hey, get off of MySpace. MySpace is lame. Ditch your profile song, which is annoying, and your top friends that create drama. Get on Facebook. It's way more mature, whatever, right? We all jumped on Facebook. Zuckerberg is worth $20.8 billion. He's one of the richest people in the world. Crazy. Through our friends, our photos, our statuses, our networks. Right? We liked the product Facebook, so we shared it with our friends. We did it again with Instagram, with Twitter, with Tumblr, with Snapchat. Snapchat just got offered $4 billion by Google. You never saw a Snapchat commercial, I promise, right? So Vimma sees that in us. They're like, oh my gosh, this generation is incredibly good at networking. They're incredibly good at blowing up brands, right? And Vimma, being a health and wellness company, also saw a $12 billion energy drink market, right? Mostly being consumed by people our age, right? People drinking Red Bull, Rockstar, Monster, stuff that is legitimately terrible for you. So what they did is they set out to create the healthiest form of energy possible, right? They created the healthiest energy drink you could ever put in your body, you guys. They combined that 2-ounce liquid antioxidant multivitamin with purified water and natural caffeine and created Verve, you guys. It is the first energy drink in the world that your mom and your doctor would tell you to put in your body. It's better for you to drink than not to drink. Okay, so what we do with this company, guys, is really, really simple. We blow up the product Verve. We blow up Vimma's products the same way we've blown up Facebook and other social medias, you guys. And this time, there's a reward. We say, hey, get off of MySpace, get on Facebook instead. It looks like this. You guys, stop drinking Red Bull. Red Bull contains aspartame. That's an artificial sweetener that's linked to cancer, right? It's illegal in several countries. Why would you put that in your body, right? Drink Verve instead. It's healthy for you, right? It helps, boost your immune system, right? The health benefits are amazing. You guys check out vimma.com/science if you want to read all of the health benefits. There have been several clinical studies on our product, right? And through doing this, right, with Facebook, it's an email and a sign up. Zuckerberg took all the money. That's free, right? Vimma takes 50 cents of every dollar they make in sales and distribute it back to their affiliates, the consumers of their product, based on the demand that they've created for their Vimma products. Right? And guys, you got to understand what this looks like. For the first time, network marketing has become relatable to our generation. Network marketing. We've been building networks our entire life. And what this has allowed us to do is to create, a lot of great part-time incomes, but also, you guys, there have been people who have taken this seriously and pursued this to the fullest and have had a shot at a really, really, really strong opportunity to change their life financially forever as someone in their late teens and early 20s. Really, really exciting stuff when you start to look at the numbers, you guys. But I'm going to tell you right now, what I'm incredibly passionate about with this company, right? Because this was something I had to learn. Like I said, I didn't tell my parents I wanted to be a professional network marketer when I was a kid. I don't think anybody does that. That's not really a thing, right? But for me personally, what I have always been passionate about, or even slightly worried about, is if you look at the cards we've been dealt as a generation, right? They legitimately stink. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I'm saying, this is one of the worst job economies we've been in since, in the past 60 years. You have Obama coming out on national television saying, if you're our age and working, the average age you're going to retire at is 73 years old. I'm just not down. Like, that's not, I don't know what I'm going to look like when I'm 73. The last thing I want to do is still be working, right? And so, my entire life, you guys, I was told, go to school, go to school, go to school, right? And go get a degree to get a better job. And what I want you guys to understand before I even talk about this next part is I actually am a firm believer in school. Okay, I am an advocate of higher education. I do believe in the higher education system, you guys. I do. Okay, and I really do appreciate it. But unfortunately, what's happening right now to our generation is about 2 out of 5 kids get a job out of college. You got $28K a year is the average salary of a college graduate, you guys, and you have student loan debt, okay, well over $1 trillion. Okay, it's higher than credit card debt in America. That's mind-blowing. Okay, and so I've watched my entire generation borrow money we don't have to go to school in hopes of getting jobs that just don't exist, right? Like I said, I'm not here to hate on school at all whatsoever. That's not what I'm here to do. But you got to understand. Maybe you'll feel the same way I have. I felt like I've been driving through my entire life with the fog lights on, right? I could see like 2 or 3 feet in front of me. Now you could legitimately get from California to New York with the fog lights on. You could do it, right? But you just get going. You're pretty sure New York exists. It's on the map. Your friends tell you it's there, right? And you just get going. You're going through the period of time. You'll make it, right? Well, that's kind of how I felt like I was driving through life. I was like, go to high school, get good grades, to go to a better college, to get good grades, to go to a good university, to get good grades, to get a better degree, to get a better job, right? And as I was going through, I did. High school, I got great grades. Senior year, I realized I wanted to save money and go to community college, so I did. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, cool. Now I can see it. Senior year, I saw where I was going. Community college, right? Graduated from community college, walked, got my degree, got my acceptance letter down to St. Louis. So I realized, oh, yeah, now I'm going down to St. Louis, right? In San Luis Obispo, investing a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort, right, without being able to see the end, right, doing it based on faith. And guys, the numbers, the end of it, it's not pretty. I'll put it that way. It's not pretty. Finding an opportunity like this, right, to help supplement anybody's lifestyle was absolutely huge. This was like flipping the brights on in my life. I could see where I was going and how I was actually going to get there. It was no longer based on faith. It was based on me, and that was something that I liked a lot. It was based on my ability. Nothing was left up for grabs. It was all completely in my control, which I was ecstatic about. Right? And so, guys, you got to understand what we're doing here. Yes, we're a health and wellness company, right? Yes, we have phenomenal products, right, that are changing a lot of people's lives that I consume on the daily and would recommend to anybody to consume on the daily, right? But you got to understand, we're a movement of young people. Okay, we call ourselves the YPR, the Young People's Revolution. Okay, and that's something I got incredibly passionate about when I saw the need for it in our generation. And it's us as an entire generation of young people coming together and saying, look, we're going to take on the second highest paid profession in the world, using skills and technology we've been developing our entire life, with a company that backs us up 100% in what we're doing, supports our vision and our movement, and we're saying, you know what? We have the ability to create our own reality. I'm tired of being called the lost generation. I'm not down for that. Drake says YOLO. Doesn't mean go drink, smarty, party, smoke. It means you get one shot at this. I'm not down to be the lost generation. We're saying, you know what? I can graduate college without debt. I can graduate college and have an income if I don't get a job right away. I can graduate college and own the company instead of work for the company in the field that I just got educated on. You guys got to understand, all it requires is money, right? Or even if this is an alternative to school, if school's not your thing, right? School is my thing. I really enjoyed college, right? And I was pushing it really, really hard, right? But I have a lot of friends who I think are fantastic people who are not about the school system, and I don't think they should be hindered for that. And they were able to find opportunity here. So you guys understand, I've been involved for close to a year now. You know what this has done for me in my life personally. I did keep my full-time job and my full-time school schedule for my first 4 months in the business, but it did take me 4 months to be able to quit that full-time job, which was very exciting for me. You know, this is a different kind of lifestyle, you guys. This is residual income, which I'll explain later. But you know, now I basically live life on my own terms. I don't set alarm clocks anymore. Pretty cool feeling after doing that for the past however many years I've been going to school, right? You know, it took me 4 months to get a company paid car of my own, right? I saw Cody show up in a BMW. Guys, I don't come from a lot of money. I didn't really know what kind of car I wanted. Never really thought about it before, but after 4 months, I did get a 2014 Mercedes-Benz, paid for by the company, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot of fun to drive, right? But what's really cool to be able to say to you guys on this webinar is that what I've aspired to do with my life has changed, and what this opportunity is allowing me to do now, a year later, is have hopes of helping my parents with their next mortgage. As a 23-year-old kid, I'm helping pitch in on a mortgage. That's huge. That's huge, right? A year ago, if you had asked me a year ago, do you think in 1 year you'll be driving a Mercedes-Benz, helping your parents take out a mortgage? I'd have said absolutely not. I said that's unrealistic. I'm not that lucky, right? And I would have just pawned it off, you guys. But that's what I would challenge every person on this call to understand tonight. That what we're doing is something incredibly special with our generation. This opportunity is going to come and go. And you need to understand right now that you have all the power in the world to go do whatever you want. And I challenge you to think about, if you didn't have to worry about money, you didn't have to worry about a schedule in your life. Let's just pretend you had an infinite source of money, right? Let's just pretend you didn't ever have to clock in and clock out, right? All you had to do was live your life the way that you wanted to live your life. What would you actually go do, right? You get one shot at this. You get to walk Earth one time. What is it that you actually want to go do? Not what you think you can do, but what do you actually want to do if you could do anything? People think of traveling the world. They think of retiring their parents. They think of sending their kids or future kids to these crazy schools out in Scotland and providing everything for these kids. Or, they think of penthouses and beaches and Maseratis and palm trees. You guys, all these amazing things. But I'm going to tell you, most people, as soon as they think about those kind of things, they immediately go, oh, that's unrealistic. I'm not that lucky. And nobody even tries. Nobody even tries. What I'm here to inform you guys tonight, and if you can learn anything from my story, is that you don't have to be a celebrity. You don't have to be lucky. You don't have to play Jeopardy. You don't have to win the lottery, anything like that. Your life is a series of decisions. The decisions you make determine the outcome. And ask yourself what it is that you truly want, and ask yourself if right now, what are you doing to take steps to get there? Is what you're doing on a daily basis in your life, what vehicles are you putting effort into? Can they even potentially get you there? The answer to that in my life was no, until I found this opportunity with Vimma, you guys. So understand, what we're doing here is not for the weak of heart. We're not looking for everybody. We're looking for those who this makes sense to. We're looking for those who are willing to work their butt off, get ahead of a generation curve, fight a slightly uphill battle in something that is absolutely going to change the way our generation views making money. All right? It's going to completely change the financial situation of an entire generation in this company, you guys. And we're doing that through what is called affiliate marketing. Okay, it's a lucrative twist on network marketing. The way that we work, you guys, is the goal is to create a residual income. Okay, and residual income is not something I learned about in school. Okay, I was a graphic communications major. You might learn about it as a finance major or an econ major, right? But I didn't know anything about it, guys. But the best way that I can describe a residual income is it's getting paid repeatedly for work that you've done previously. It adds a lot of value to you and your time. Right? And so, guys, I don't mean this in a rude way, but if you're clocking in and clocking out to make money, that is the worst way to make money in America. All right? And I truly believe we all have to do that at some point. Unless you come from millions of dollars, we all have to work a job at some point. But work that job temporarily and pursue residual income eventually. And we hope you can find that here, right? But, guys, what I mean by that is the best way that I've ever had it broken down for me is that if you're clocking in and clocking out, trading an hour of your time for money, right, you got to think about this. Money is an infinite resource. You can always create more money, right? Time, it's only 24 hours in a day. You can't create more time. You can't even be that workhorse. You could try to be that workhorse that works 24 hours, right? But that's it. You're capped, right? If time is a finite resource and money is an infinite resource, right? Time's a lot more valuable than money. Why would you trade it that way? That is a completely unfair trade, right? So what we do here with Vimma, you guys, is we build demand for the product. We build demand for our health and wellness products, you guys. And when you build it once, it pays you repeatedly. And I highly encourage people to look at it like this. If you run your business with integrity, right, if you're out there to help as many people get what they want, you get what you want. If you have that mentality, you guys, it actually pays substantially higher, right? And that's what I want you all to understand. That's how you create a long-lasting income with the company Vimma. So you guys, it's very, very simple to get started. You simply purchase product, right? You talk to the person who showed you this webinar tonight, right? When you purchase product with Vimma, the business plan is free. You become a consumer, right? You order, let's say you love the product Verve, right, our healthy energy drink. You order it from the person who brought you on this call. You go to their website. It could be johndoe.vimma.com, right? You never have to give your friend any money. Your friend never touches your product. What you do is you go to johndoe.vimma.com. You pay Vimma. Vimma sends the product to your door, right? And they get credit for that referral, right? And in doing so, in purchasing product, you then gain access to a mobile app, which lets you track everything going on in your business, as well as a web page, right? Like your friend John Doe's, that looks a lot like Amazon and Facebook put together, right? You've got your profile pic, you've got your little blog in your bio, and then you've got an online store, right? And you get plugged into the system in the same exact way, right? We're building a friends list of consumers of Vimma products. But what's really fun about our business is that anyone on your friends list, anyone they bring onto their friends list, counts towards your friends list as well. And then Vimma sends us paychecks every Thursday based on the demand that we've created for their products through word of mouth, through social networking, right? We fill out a W-9 form, a tax identification number. We're a sole proprietorship inside of a franchise, you guys, and we pay taxes through a 1098 at the end of the year. And yeah, if you want to take this thing seriously, it can provide you a full-time income. Vimma is excellent part-time. Vimma is as excellent to help with college debt, right? Whatever you want it to do for you. And that's what I encourage everybody on this call to think about right now, is how could this be implemented into your life? This isn't like abandon everything that you were doing. I still have the same aspirations that I had before through maybe a career path that I wanted to do, right? Pursue graphic communication, right? But this altered the degree that I could pursue it to. Okay, this is the bridge. This is getting from point A to point B, right? Money isn't everything, you guys. I'm not here to say that. Money can't buy happiness, but please take it from me. Not having money doesn't help. All right, and that's what we're able to do here in a very, low pressure environment where we simply share a product that we all feel incredibly passionate about. As we take this company that only did 221 million in sales last year, right? And I'll tell you guys that's up from 118 million the year before. We had an 89% growth. That's how quick our company is growing, right? But from a company that's only doing 221 million in sales in an industry projected to go to the multi-billions. We're like a 50th of the way done. At the most, maybe 100. It depends on how far we're going to push it, but you got to understand what that looks like. So you're at the right place at the right time with the right people, with the right organization, with the right opportunity to really take advantage of something happening in your life right now that could change the course of your life forever if you let it. If you let it. So don't do what I did the first time you hear about this opportunity and pawn it off like everything. That was me. I'll shamefully admit it now, but I've gotten a lot better about it. That was a character flaw. I've changed. Get your questions answered. Talk to anybody who's already involved in the company, who's brought you in. Guys, if you want to contact me personally, find me on Facebook. My name is Jesse Burke. Add me on Facebook. Shoot me a message. I'm down to help anybody with any question that you may have. And understand that if whether you partake in this to not, you're probably going to remember the first time you heard about Vimma, right? You're either going to remember it as the time that you heard about Vimma, you had your skepticism, you let this little voice in the back of your head that said, oh, that'll never be me, I can't do that, he just got lucky. Snuff your ambition, right? And then 10 years from now, you're just going to be like, damn, I should have done that. Or you're going to remember tonight as the night that you decided to embark on an amazing journey of entrepreneurship with a bunch of like-minded individuals, with your best friends, promoting a health and wellness company that seeks to change the entire way our generation views this profession. You get to be a part of something bigger than yourself. So ask the question, how does this fit into your life? And if you could get anything that you wanted out of life, what are you not willing to do to get there? Guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate you guys tuning in, listening to me on this call. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.